Tutu Nation. Me and Vince TV, aka me TV, aka Maine the Merciless. I'm gonna play this before I get started with sports. I got a bone to pick. That's right, because it's been going on for a little bit too long, and I've been throwing out warning shots, but it's time to really get it in to 197.5. That's right. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, you guys know, some of you guys know who watch my show. Y'all know, and you don't follow me on Twitter. Y'all know, me and 97.5, we got a good relationship going on right now. And this excludes, I'm gonna say now, Matt. For those who don't know, Matt, I know you watch it because you watch all my sports shows. You said, Matt, you're excluded from what I'm getting ready to say. Okay? For those who don't know, Matt's the station manager there. Matt is the one who found me on here. Matt's the one who put me under his wing, treated me like family, brought me into the studio. Okay? Matt's the guy who did that. So this excludes Matt. Matt has been nothing but good to me. When Matt brought me into the studio, had me, Mike Missinelli and Sean Brace and all them, I'm going to talk about you dudes because you dudes we going to have a problem, all right? Not Mike. Me and Mike, we really don't have a problem, but me and Sean, we going to have a problem today. We got a little bit of static to clear the air, okay? But I put it like this, all right? Matt told you, all right? This the dude that's next in line. He's the one. That's what he said to you. And I know you guys didn't like that. He said that to you. And what happened? Sean Brace, I looked you eye to eye when you came into the meeting room. We shook hands. We talked. And understand, 97.5 asked me, Vin, how do you do your shows for so long? How do you even do the shows in general? What programs do you use? And I was reluctant to tell these dudes because I knew one day something like this would happen. All right, you got to watch your back, people. I knew it was going to happen because after Sean Brace, after, he talks and powwows with me, he knows what I do here. Then he goes and pulls this bullshit.
Welcome to False Start. I'm your host, Sean Brace.
Sean Brace, I'm going to say this once, man. I'm going to say it once. You're a backstabbing fucking pussy. You can't get your own style. You can't do anything on your own, let alone you don't know shit about sports. We all saw what happened not too long ago, what you said about Mike Vick and Randall Cunningham. So, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But the fact that you went and tried to do my type of show, all right? And before anyone says, they don't have the right to do their own internet show, it's not that. It's not that. But when you ask me, all right, specifically, how to do a show, what programs that you know, there's a problem. And for anyone says, oh, well, how do you know that, Sean Brace knows you? We don't know that Sean Brace knows you. You want to know how? Because Sean Brace introduced me in the Fox News video. He the dude on the right.
Wait, how do you fix the Phillies? Well, that's a loaded question, Michael. Here's the problem. The division has gotten legitimately better this season. Yeah. With the Washington Nationals, the Marlins, the Mets. You call it fluky, but who knows? They might have built something there with this season. The division has gotten better. So how do you fix the Phillies? I'm telling you right now, they got to move Cole Hamels.
Maybe the way to fix the Phillies is fix the bullpen, including this guy. He goes by the name Main Event.
I'm doing a doubleheader today, and this is a special request video, 597.5, that's right. And for those who need more proof, understand, I have all my emails saved from 97.5 when they sent it to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to release them just yet because, like I said, I don't want to jeopardize Matt. Matt, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, you've been nothing but good to me. If you sat here and told me today that, you knew about it, but it was out of your control because he's doing his own thing online, I'd understand. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to fault you for that. Matt, get in contact with me, man. By the end of the week. If not, then I'm going to contact you. And I'd rather talk to you than Sean. Because I don't want to talk to Sean at this point, all right? Because if I talk to Sean, I'm going to challenge Sean on this. And if you say challenge, yeah, I'm telling you. Boxing, MMA, you don't want it with basketball, son. You don't want that. We can get 97.5 involved. We can put it online for the world to see. I don't have a problem with that. Don't you understand? I back up what I talk, all right? But Sean know better, too. And if you say, Vin, you sound like you're looking for a fight. You damn right I'm looking for a fight. I'm so sick and tired of people on here sitting here saying, well, this person can say something, but Vin, you can't say this. Nah. I say what I want, when I want. If you don't like it, roll the fuck out. That's simple, all right? You don't have to like me at this point. You don't. I'm getting this shit off my chest. You have to understand, this is real life shit now. This is not just online talking sports. No, this is real life shit. Because now, like I said, you bring me in the studio. We trying to get this together. We trying to get this money. That's what it's about now at this point when it comes to going in the studio. This online thing, this is fun, all right? But when it comes to outside in the real world, that's money. And you're not going to take my money, man. You're not going to come in my zone, Sean Brace. And you know this by now. You know I'll call you out on it. Because while I was in the meeting room, what happened? Mike Missinelli came in. And when Mike shook my hand, I stood up and looked at him in his face. What's the first thing I said to Mike Missinelli? I got a problem with you. That's what I said to him, all right? You know I have no problem saying things to people's face. Y'all think it's some type of act on here that I can just try and act tough. No, all right? It's something that you live. I am scared of no man in this motherfucker. Understand that. But Sean, that's not all. Then you decide 2 weeks ago you want to hang out with my people, all right? And for those who don't know, on Twitter, my people was like, yo, was just hanging out with Sean Brace, shouts to his internet show. They didn't see the internet show, but they was giving them the promotion. You get what I'm saying? That's what they was doing. So last week I talked to them, and it was like, yo, I was like, yo, what's going on with Sean Brace? What's going on, man? Because they didn't know the situation. Then I explained it to them, and they was like, oh, shit, you know, we didn't know. That's fucked up. You damn right it's fucked up. Like I said, this dude wants to step in my zone. He's not. If you gonna step in my zone, I'm gonna play like this, all right? If you want to be me, if you want my shit, you're going to have to come and take it. You're going to have to, all right? Because I'm not going down without a fight. It's that simple. Now, I'll put it like this. Sean Brace, cut the bullshit out. Your show is garbage. No one gives a shit about your fucking blazer that you wear. Nobody wants this. Didn't you understand what Matt said before about people don't want to see dudes in blazers and company bullshit? What did he say? All right, and I know you didn't like it, but he said people are more interested in a fan perspective. Why? Because it brings their own story and raw emotion. That's what he said. That's what they're aiming for. It's time to change your ways. But you don't want to hear that. I'll put it like this. Put me in the ring with you. It's over. It's over. All right? Yes, I'm looking for a fight. I'm begging you, come out here and give me a fight. I'm begging you. At this point, you have to understand, I am up to here with this shit. Don't you understand that? And speaking of being up to here, Matt, like I said, get in contact with me. This is just the first of things to come. Understand that. This is just the start. All right? We'll talk about the Eagles. Lion ass, arrogant ass, Eagles. All right? Now, Andy Reid got to go. Got to go. He has lost his locker room. I've been saying it for how long now? All right? I've been saying this since, was it 2 seasons now? And all you little stupid-ass Eagles fans will come in and say, oh, you're wrong. He doesn't need to go. The offense needs to jail. The defense needs to jail. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Don't you understand it? These dudes are not built like they were back in the 90s. What did I tell you? You have to police your own. Everyone's trying to be a friend to each other. And I'm happy that people are saying this as well, because now the professionals are saying it.
And asked Andy Reid, you personally challenged the coaches and players in the locker room prior to the game. They didn't respond. What do you say? So I have to keep challenging them.
But there's only one conclusion that you can reasonably draw from that. And, you know, I've always been an Andy defender, but for whatever reason, it appears he's lost his team.
Mm-hmm. And Sal followed up and said, how can you explain that they didn't respond? Do they need another voice? Do they need to hear another voice challenging him? He said, well, you're going to do it? He said, no, somebody else. He said, no, I got that. They're going to hear my voice. What do you think it's like in there? What's the dynamic in that locker room right now?
They don't care. They don't care. And I rarely say this about an Andy Reid coach team, an Andy Reid led team. He's leading a bunch of guys who don't care if they win or lose on Sunday. There may be a few in that locker room that care about winning on Sunday, but you can't just care when Sunday gets here. You have to care Monday through Saturday in your preparation, whether it's in the film room, whether it's getting your body together, whether you're getting enough sleep at night as opposed to running the streets. There's not enough guys on this team that it hurts to put performances out there like they did today. The one thing I was fortunate enough in my 9-year NFL career was that I played with tremendous leaders. You know about the ones I played with here. The ones I played with in Atlanta, Ward Dunn, Patrick Kearney, Algie Crumpler, Keith Brookie, guys that cared whether or not we lost ball games, guys that it hurt after the ball game, that they were upset in the locker room. I look at this team, I look at a collection of players that they go out there and they want to win on Sunday, but the moment things don't go very well, they could care less. I just don't see enough hurt from this team. All I see is a bunch of excuses as to why they aren't getting their job done. With the defensive front versus the secondary, that they aren't covering long enough. Then Juan Castillo is the scapegoat. You know, it's always somebody else. When is a player in that locker room going to challenge one of your teammates to get his butt in line and do his job? And that's what you don't have. You have too many guys that want to be friends with each other, don't want to ruffle feathers. I played with guys that didn't care about that stuff, that would get in your grill if you weren't doing your job. If you put a performance out like you put out the last 3 weeks, are you kidding me? There's no way any team I played on would allow something like this that has happened over the past 3 weeks.
You know, to be quite honest, I find it funny that I've said the same thing this season, season before that, and 2 seasons ago I said it, you know, about the players' attitude. And you Eagles fans came out and said, oh, well, you're just wrong, you're a hater, and blah, blah. And you said the same thing that everyone else fucking says, and now we're seeing all of it come to the forefront. It seems like it takes losing to get you guys to realize what's going on. And it shouldn't. You should be able to spot that shit a mile away as soon as a player acts like that. And I want to talk about this because Cullen Jenkins came out after the game, and he says, check this out, and I quote, "I'm only worried about myself and my defensive linemen." Really? So just fuck the rest of the defense. Fuck the secondary. Never in my life when being in the locker room have I ever seen a player try to split apart the defense when it comes to who you should look out for. Anybody who's ever been in the locker room knows defense supports all of the defense. Offense supports all of the offense. You take care of your end, we'll take care of our end. That's what it comes down to if you've ever been in a locker room. And mind you, Cullen Jenkins is the same person who said just last year he wanted to be a leader on his team. Yeah, I don't think so. All right? When you say statements like that, it's time to go. It shows these dudes have no type of chemistry. They don't even care about each other at this point. That's what it comes down to. He is not a good teammate. All right? But I will put it like this. Speaking of the defense, okay? Understand. Defense looked piss poor in the first, I should say half, but we're just talking about the first quarter. All right, you had a chance to pick off Matt Ryan. You didn't. Okay, whatever. But then the next 5 third-down conversions, you give the Falcons the conversion. I don't understand this. What is going on? And Todd Bowles comes out and says, it was embarrassing. It was disrespectful how we played today. This is after the game. And he's saying all these things with a smile on his face. It seems like everyone has become very complacent, very comfortable. You have to be kidding me. There's no emotion, there's no drive, there's no heart. That's what it comes down to. All right, and this goes on Andy Reid. This is what happens when you become a player's coach. All right, because when you give the players everything they want, they think they're superstars. They can get away with whatever they want. You got some people not even try to act like superstars. You got wide receiver 10 trying to act like a rap star instead of playing football. That's what this comes down to. This team needs to be rebuilt. There's way too much talent on this team to have this much ego. You haven't won a damn thing yet. You still want to act that way. And there's no reason why Andy Reid should have to go into the back, all right, during halftime and yell at players. They know what they need to do. If you just got your ass whipped the entire first half, you know what needs to be done.
How do you change the dynamic of the team? I mean, what do you do if you're that coach, right? What do you do? I don't know. I really don't, Gov. I mean, there's only so many fire and brimstone speeches he can give.
Right. It's got to be more than speech.
Yeah, this is the NFL. These guys should be self-motivated, motivated to earn their paychecks, have self-pride to want to go out there and do their jobs. I mean, that's the difference with today's players. And I'm not even that old, so I don't even know why I keep saying this, but I just see a difference with this team that we didn't need Andy firing us up when I didn't need that. The players didn't need that. We fired each other up. And if he did it certainly only had to happen once a year. And he just did this 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's yelling at Cullen Jenkins on the sideline. I mean, does it really take for the coach to stand up in front of the meeting and tell you how important it is for this week's game, how important your job is on the line right now? I mean, does the coach really need to stand up there? Because guess what? We call that wolf tickets after a while. Because if there's nothing going to change, we're not listening.
And that's where you're at.
Yeah,
and now you just played that card.
What was the expression?
Wolf tickets, selling wolf tickets.
Yeah, boy, you cry wolf.
Yes, well, threatening to do something, and you do something minor, and it still doesn't change the culture. Now where do you go? Now who's he going to release from this team of any significance that's going to have an impact on these teams as far as on these players to make them think their job is in jeopardy? He's not going to cut a starter.
Yeah.
And that's the problem now, all right? There's not enough messages being sent, but it doesn't matter what messages you send because you haven't done it from the start. So if you do it now, it's not going to matter. But those on top, they had Casey Matthews out there starting. That's right. You had him out there starting. Like, come on, really? Because Kendricks, he didn't start because of disciplinary issues. That's not going to matter now. You get what I'm saying? So you have to do it from the jump. You have to set that tone from the beginning. And it wasn't set with Juan Castillo or Andy Reid. So there's a problem. Offense. Now look, let's get something straight. Wide receivers, I've lost all faith in you. I've said this before. I will say it again. Wide receivers, when you were jammed on your route, you try to make your own play. When you were covered on the route that you're running, come back to the quarterback. It's not that hard, all right? I don't care if Vic has a 3-step, a 5-step, or a 7-step drop. I don't care if the ball's out of his hand. You still try to come back to the quarterback and try to make an effort. There's no heart there. And I put it like this. You guys have to be the worst blocking wide receiver tandem in football. You have to be, all right? Avant can't do but so much. Macklin can't block to save his life. And I'm not even talking about wide receiver 10 and Cooper. He can't block either. It seems like none of you dudes can block. This is a reason why I say, oh, they're fast, they're agile. This is why you need to put on muscle. so you don't have to worry about this type of thing. Because not everything is catered to you wide receivers. But doesn't matter. Vic, I'm not going to blame Vic, all right, this week. Vic took what the defense gave him, all right? And there's no reason why at one point the offense is so stagnant that he has to run to get first down. Your quarterback shouldn't have to run 9-10 yards for first down. That's ridiculous, all right? Running, oh, my God, running. Let's get something straight. I don't know why you're trying to bounce out to the outside with McCoy. You should know by now. On the left, and I was talking about this on Twitter, and it did not work. On the left, run between the tackles on the left-hand side. On the right, bounce to the outside and run. As we all said, Asante Samuel could not stop McCoy when it came to that end zone run. He's a joke, Asante Samuel. I can't believe he talked so much this entire week, all right, about we better cheer for him and carry on. Look, let's get something straight, all right? Asante Samuel, you're a bitch. And I'll put it like this. B-Dog, he never had to ask anybody tell anybody to cheer for him. Never. All right? You don't come into Philadelphia and tell people, yo, you better cheer for me. What are you going to do if they don't? Huh, tough guy? What are you going to do? Nothing. You couldn't stop, was it, McCoy on the run. You got destroyed by Macklin most of the time. You stopped him once. All right? You did nothing the entire game. And then after the game, you talk all this trash about how, well, if the Eagles had me, they could have expected me to have at least one pickoff. You couldn't even pick off a pass on your current team. Yet you're going to sit here and say you could have did it if you were still with the Eagles. Get out of here, man. I'm not trying to hear this. Asante Samuel, you're a joke. You do not deserve any respect, all right, here in Philadelphia. The only reason why people at one point missed you is because your backup was Joselio Hansen, and he was even worse. That was it. You couldn't jump a route all game. You played back all game, so they kept killing you with short routes. You never adjusted. Don't even get me started, all right? Seriously, I could pick Asante Samuel apart all day during that game, but it doesn't matter. Atlanta offense really won this game, all right? And that's what it came down to. Pass rush was really good for Atlanta. Vic just, I mean, you can't do but so much. And here's the thing, because they were talking about all week how Vic should be benched. Maybe he'll be benched. Wide receiver 10 comes out and says, and I'm going to talk about this, all right? Wide receiver 10 comes out and says, well, he's still an elite quarterback, but I think it's time for Foles to play. Mind you, he did the same shit with McNabb. Did he not? Kevin Cole, he's ready to play. He's ready. He's poised. He just wants somebody who can throw him the ball. Someone younger that he could probably relate to, I guess. I don't know. But it's stupid. When his numbers start going down, he starts asking for new quarterbacks, all right? Then when McNabb left, what did he do? Threw McNabb under the fucking bus. Did he not? Kolb is going to be the guy, and people say, he's just trying to support Kolb. No, he does this a second time around. I knew he was going to do this shit, all right? Now I try to say the same thing for Vic. You gotta be kidding me. Understand, guys, that wide receiver 10 does not give a shit about our quarterbacks. He does not give a shit about you. He just wants the ball. He has not learned a fucking thing. And the thing is, I was okay with him the last couple of weeks because if his numbers were down, he wasn't talking. Now he's talking. Shut the fuck up. That's all you gotta do. And the thing is, Jason Babin says the same thing. All you gotta do is shut up.
You know, they always talk about the coaches have to lead, but how much do the players from within need to be better leaders, maybe more vocal leaders, if any?
I'll tell you what, talk is cheap, especially at this point when you're 3 and 4. You know what? Just keep your mouth shut, work your butt off, and keep fighting. That's all we can do.
Now, that's kind of ironic that that's coming from, Jason Babin, Mr. Mouth, Mr. Body of Adonis. You can't tell him anything because he tackles quarterbacks. Yeah, we're going to talk about him real quick because for those who don't know, when he played last week, he went from having the majority snaps to all of a sudden limited snaps. You know what that means? Anybody who's played football knows that is one step away from being benched. That's what that is. Understand, he had so many problems on his side. All right, they simplified the wide 9 for you so that you can do your job. Yet you can't scout screens, you can't scout any type of dump off pass. You just go right for the quarterback. And then when you're actually caught, you're actually exposed when it comes to pass protection. You start holding and you start getting penalties. There's a problem. It goes to show you all you're good for is tackling the quarterback. And we all know you wouldn't even get that much if it wasn't for Trent Cole on the other side. Understand, Babin, that this is a problem that you're going to come across. Like I said, last year, people didn't know what you was all about. Now that they've scouted you, it's a wrap. There's a reason why you left Tennessee, okay? There's a reason they didn't want to keep you. But I will put it like this, all right? Now that we've seen that, Jason Babin is quite upset because after he says, you shouldn't be talking, just play football, which I appreciate that comment that he said. It's kind of ironic. It contradicts everything he's about, but I appreciate the comment. Now, I will put it like this. afterwards, the Bleacher Report came out and said that, there's 5 moves that the Eagles could possibly make. You know what I mean? That's what he came out. And they said one of those moves were Jason Babin going to the Ravens. Now, I will put it like this. Jason Babin caught wind of the Bleacher Report. But obviously, Jason Babin doesn't understand what the word possibility means or potential means. All right? Because he comes out, well, you guys think of me being traded to the Ravens. Am I really going to be traded to the Ravens? I'm going to put link in the info bar where you see it. And fans have to tell him it's only the Bleacher Report. Don't take it seriously. I mean, this dude is going off. He doesn't know what the hell to say. And then his other teammates are like, what? What are you talking about? Like, this dude, obviously, I'll put it like this. If there was a trade in the works, Jason Babin would know. His agent would know. You get what I'm saying? You would be communicating with your agent to know these type of things. It's the Bleacher Report. Don't take it too seriously, Babin. But then the week before that, you had his wife on Twitter fighting with media trying to defend Babin. Look, no. That's, you know what, your man card absolutely gets revoked. Understand this. I understand your wife is being protective of you. I understand it. But for any man who has a woman or whatever, they know. If they've ever been in a relationship, they know. A woman is only supposed to defend a man when it's another woman. Other than that, you are the man in the relationship. You handle your business, Mr. Football Player, Mr. Body of a Dance. You're supposed to handle that. Now, if you don't like what that dude is saying on Twitter, then you don't answer him. That's simple. You don't. And don't tell me you don't talk to me, because you're always on CSN talking to somebody about something, or on the radio on 97.5. You're always on there. So I'm not trying to hear that you don't talk to enough media. Easily could have been ignored, and yet you decide to let your wife fight your battles for you. That's wrong. Absolutely wrong. But then, afterwards, like I said, Babin, you got to get yourself together. You have obviously a lot more issues or misunderstanding of things when it comes to, actually using your brain. I don't get it. But then we have stupid-ass Eagles fans. Gotta get into the stupid-ass Eagles fans. How can you sit here and say that Andy Reid needs to stay? So now Foles is the next Tom Brady, huh? Come on, man. Look, I put it like this. This is why you don't take Twitter seriously. You gotta be kidding me. This is why I only listen to a small group of Eagles fans. Other than that, everyone else is irrelevant. I don't even want to hear they're an Eagles fan as far as I'm concerned. Now, I want to move on because I want to talk about the Carolina Panthers fans. I don't know what is going on out there. I really don't. Cam Newton is on suicide watch every week at this point. I just don't get it. I don't. I understand Carolina fans. You're upset. You have every right to be upset. Even I didn't think this team would be this bad. But I guess it is what it is. I mean, seriously, your defense needs help. You really need a new coach. I put it like this. You're bringing a defensive coordinator from San Diego, which don't even get me started on San Diego and their cheating ways. And I like the Chargers. But seriously, they were cheating. They got caught cheating. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. I think you need a new coach. You need to have a new system going on. This is not working. It's just absolutely not working. It's just not for Carolina fans. Monday night game, 49ers pretty much beat up on the Cardinals. I don't think it really matters. It really doesn't. I mean, there were so many games that week. Jets fans, you know what? Just stop talking. Jets fans, it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback, whether Sanchez or it's Tebow. Neither of them are going to get you to a Super Bowl. They're just not. It's done, all right? The Dolphins whooped up on you something serious, right? The Dolphins, all right? But anyways, I want to move on. Giants, I expect the Giants to win against the Cowboys. Cowboys fans, you should be upset due to the fact that your coach, it's time for your coach to go. And then there's talk about possibly getting rid of your coach and bringing Rob Ryan as the main. Don't do that. You already see what Rex is doing. Don't do that with Rob Ryan. And Tony Romo is not the quarterback that you think he is. Now, to be fair to Dallas fans, the end of the first half, Dallas got momentum and carried on throughout the second half. If Dez Bryant catches that ball in the end zone and doesn't put his arm when he lands, which is understandable because he's in midair, he's he can't control his body. If his arm lands in instead of out of line, that's a touchdown. Giants lose this game. So I will say that Giants fans, you really should be looking at your defense right now. There's no reason why you can be up, that much and let Dallas start to come back and then you have to fight back and forth. That is crazy. It's absolute travesty. KC fans, I'm going to say it now. You got to give Matt Castle a break. He is trying. I have seen there's a couple plays when I watched that game. There was a couple times Matt Castle was throwing that ball way too high to his receivers, and that is his fault. That's an accuracy problem. But he was the only quarterback you had on the roster. If he gets hurt, and the announcers kept saying it, you're going to bring in a running back to throw the ball. That is ridiculous. All right? Matt Castle has tried his hardest. He even got hurt during that game, got up, and kept playing. Give that man his credit. Even though he's not the great of a quarterback, give him his credit. You really have to. I mean, there were so many games, it's hard to keep up with everyone. Raiders looked really good. I thought it was kind of a dirty game, believe it or not, between both teams. The Raiders and KC, it was just nasty. I mean, there was a very physical. Richard Seymour, I don't know what he's doing, but he slams down Matt Castle, and he doesn't care. He's like laughing about it. That's not cool. Like, it's after the play. You can't do that. It just goes to show you. And I respect the hell out of Raiders fans and the Raiders, but understand, you can't have players like that do that. You just can't. You really can't. I want to move on to the NBA. I really do. Because I want to start off, this was last night, NBA season opener. You had the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. And David Stern comes out, and as we all know, he's come out and said he's going to retire in 2014. But after this statement, I feel David Stern needs to retire right now.
Before we begin, I know that everyone here and around America watching has in their thoughts and their abiding concerns those who are affected by the tragedy of Hurricane Katrina and its aftermath.
Hurricane Katrina? Really? Seriously, David Stern? You know, just stop. And you know what? I know a lot of people are saying that Adam Silver is going to take over for Stern and he's going to make changes. No. Adam Silver, if you look at his resume, he's a money guy. So he's going to do the same thing. I put it like this. If things aren't changed this year, and like I said, this flopping thing and finding, that's not going to do anything. The NBA, I put it like this. Miami Heat and Boston Celtics, when they played, first half of that game was amazing. It was great. It was very physical from the start. You know what I mean? We're seeing elbows left and right. We're seeing guys get into it. It was amazing. It was great. All right? No matter what you thought. The only thing that bothered me all night is the fact that they kept pushing this LeBron James video. Congratulations, LeBron. Congratulations, LeBron. I earned one. Come on, man. Stop that. Stop it. Seriously. You don't need to keep showering this dude with stuff. He won one. All right? And people still feel he had to go to a different, city with all-stars in order to win. I'm not trying to hear it. The commercials are ridiculous. They are. Every 5 seconds. Between that, Assassin's Creed, and Call of Duty, I was done with commercials. I was done. I'm like, this is garbage. All right? But the game itself was good. Rondo needs to put himself in check. I don't know what is going on out there. He's yelling at the referee. He gets a tech. I understand Wade did hook him. But you can't complain about it. Just keep playing. Paul Pierce is yelling, telling him, just play your game. Do what you got to do. And he's just, it's not facilitating correctly to Rondo since he's supposed to be a point guard, all right? Leandro Barbosa is like your highest scoring guy in the second half, really. I mean, I don't understand this. This makes no sense. Now, Boston fans, understand. You found out that the Boston Celtics, they can score a lot of points on offense. That's not a problem. It's your defense, all right? Because Miami killed them in defense. I mean, when they was on the defensive end. They just destroyed them. I didn't understand it, all right? And I watched the Lakers game. Lakers fans, you should be upset. There is no reason why you should be losing to the damn Dallas Mavericks. I understand it's a rebuilt team, and that's what they're saying. Rebuilt team on the fly. They just got this team together last week, all right? Last week. And they beat the Lakers in L.A. in the season opener. This is crazy, all right? I don't understand what's going on. If you think that Jody Meeks, who used to be at the Sixers, is going to come off the bench and give you a spark, you are seriously in trouble. All right? There's something wrong with you. Jody Meeks is not going to give you any type of spark. He couldn't do it in Philadelphia. He's not going to do it here. It's just really that simple. To put him and Steve Blake in a set for coming off the bench, that's not going to work. All right? Steve Blake is a hell of a lot better of a three-point shooter than Jody Meeks. Jody Meeks can't even play defense either. So you're going to have a problem with that. I advise you find a new player. I really do. That is a horrible setup for the Lakers. It just is. But I do expect more from the Lakers. Now, mind you, Stephen A. Smith, even though he shouldn't be on the air right now, because for those who know what happened, last week when he dropped the N-bomb, which is the second time, we talked about that on Twitter, he came out and said that the Lakers aren't going to make to the NBA championship. He came out and said it. So we'll see what happens. But the Lakers should have not lost that game last night. It's ridiculous to have all that talent on that team, and you get smoked by the Mavericks. That's what you did. You got smoked. All right? Regardless of what you think score-wise, momentum and energy, Mavericks had it. They had it. You beat the Lakers. Dallas, I give you credit. You beat the Lakers in LA on a season opener. That's just crazy. It's crazy. All right? But I will say, tonight, the Sixers play Denver, and I'm telling you now, all right, if you stupid-ass Philly fans even cheer for Andre Iguodala, I don't even know if he's playing because he still has that calf problem. Oh, the calf, Achilles. I'm not trying to hear it. All right? He had it last year and the year before, and now he has it in Denver. If he plays, he plays. You better not cheer his ass on. After what he said last season about you fans, about how you'll cheer on murderers and rapists if they give you a championship, who the hell is he to say something like that? I said, I don't forget these things. I don't care about Andre Iguodala. I put it like this. The Sixers, understand, like other people were telling me on Twitter, the Sixers will make the playoffs only because they are in the East. That's why. If they were in the West, they would get railroaded. Understand, has Bynum even signed that extension? Because if he hasn't, then you really have something to worry about. I'm not even worried about his knees at this point. He had the surgery. It's going to take him a while to come back. Not worried about that. But understand, if you get this guy and he doesn't sign an extension contract, there's going to be problems in Philadelphia. There's going to be, because you gave up a lot for him. You did. And I don't even like Andre Iguodala, but even I know you gave up a lot for him. That's just crazy. He has to sign the extension. Now, like I said, I don't know if he did. So if he did, then please, guys, let me know. All right? But I'm just going by what I'm talking about right now. All right? Chicago, Chi-Town, give you credit. Your Bulls, they're going to be out of it for a while because Rose isn't back yet. We'll see what happens, okay? But understand, Atlanta is also on the come up. All right? You got all these teams coming up. It's Halloween, man. All right, and we play tonight. I do not expect much from the Sixers tonight, from Denver. All right, I really don't. But they are young. They are a fast team. How do you not start Thaddeus Young for the preseason that he had? You've got to be kidding me. Why is Evan Turner starting? And you got Thaddeus Young on the bench. I'm not trying to hear this spark off the bench shit anymore. Thaddeus Young should be a starter. You should have Jay Rich, Thaddeus Young out there, Drew Holiday. I mean, seriously. This is just ridiculous to have this type of lineup. We will see what happens tonight. And I'm telling you guys now, I will watch the Sixers. I'm gonna treat the Sixers like I treat the Eagles this year. I'm not going to take them too seriously. Especially when I have to watch these games on CSN. I cannot take it. You have to understand the way Zumoff and Malik Rose, I've talked about this time and time again. There's so much ass kissing. I can't stand it. All right? I'm going to have to mute the TV and I'm going to turn on the radio or something. You know what I mean? I just can't take it. Their analysis is horrible. I just can't. I'm really hoping that they go to TNT. And I'll put it like this. I want to say this. People in the West, especially in Cali, I don't ever want to hear that there's East Coast bias. Ever again. You hear me? The Lakers are playing 3 nights in a row, starting from last night, 3 nights in a row on TNT. Here. All right? So you're getting the coverage. Not to mention, years ago, we talked about it on Twitter. Years ago, the Chargers, when Marty was involved, when you had San Diego, they were primed to go to the Super Bowl. When the 49ers played the Giants a couple weeks ago, every analyst picked the 49ers to beat the Giants. I don't want to hear that there's East Coast bias anymore. All right? It's garbage. It's gone. I don't want to hear it. All right? Anyways, also, one last thing before I go. I want to talk about the Bears. Chicago Bears fans, I don't know what's going on there, but there's no way you should have won your game the way you did. It should have been a hell of a lot higher game than that. You have problems on your offensive side. Lovie Smith, there's no way you can sit there. I understand your team is pride on defense, but on that offensive side, you have enough weapons now. There is no excuse for Jay Cutler to play the way he played. If not, if you say, well, Jay Cutler, he keeps getting hit, then they have to address the offensive line. They just have to. It's absolutely ridiculous. I thought that the Bears would win by a lot more. Obviously, they disappointed me as much as they disappointed Bears fans. They just did. Anyways, I know it's Halloween. I have things to do. Seriously, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go to the the art place. I gotta go pick up some stuff. Artists, I have some things coming up for you guys. I will talk about this next week in the gaming video as well. I have some things coming up for you guys. Some projects. Should be fun. And I also, tomorrow, I got basketball. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to get at least a gameplay video, try to squeeze one out this week. I'm very busy this week. All right? Very busy. So I will talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. Matt, seriously, get in contact with me. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out.